Hey guys, welcome back to the layout. Sorry, my voice sounds terrible, but I am currently going through like a flu or cold or something, but I got up today for the first time, so I'm trying to just do some stuff, and I figured I haven't made a video in a while, so I figured let me make a video and show you guys what's going on with my little switching layout. So not too much progress, just because things cost a lot now, and I'm trying to kind of figure out where to spend money on stuff. And right now I'm kind of slowing down to figure out the positioning of buildings and buying kits. So I figured this go around I wanted to buy kits first before I do scenery. I did experiment with some scenery, but I will show you that, and I'm quickly realizing that I should not have done that, but we'll explain. So the first thing I want to do with the layout was get the crossings in, because it's cheap, it's easy, and it's kind of just an easy focal point to start somewhere. So I had some leftover crossing lights from my previous layout, my parents' house. So what I decided to do was use these crossing lights I'm never going to use, and actually are broken. I weathered them up, and I'm using them as old lights. So on this switching railroad, we have to stop at every single grade crossing and flag the crossings. So these are just going to be stand-in for the railroad crossings. So essentially, it's like I said before, is an old Conrail branch, wasn't used for probably 20-30 years, and all of a sudden got reactivated. So wouldn't be unheard of for old signals not to be working or until they get replaced. So I'm thinking maybe I can put some signals next to these that are newer, get some cheap ones from somewhere, and kind of put them next to them, or have them in place for future installation, something like that. I put these railroad crossing wood planks in for the actual crossing. So I stained them with some RIT dye, so make them look like they're pretty worn, as they normally would be. This here will be a general store, and then there's gonna be a tree line behind it here. So this will hide the building in the back, as well as the railroad here. One thing that's been a pain so far is figuring this out is gonna be the switch, but in due time, I think I can figure that out. So this will be the general store. This is gonna be an apartment building / pizzeria. And then over here will be another actual supply store. So this is like a general store you'd go to for a convenience store, I should say, like a bodega if you live on the East Coast or in New York City. And this would be like a general hardware store. Obviously this company over here that receives the box cars and center beams is kind of a supply company, so they're going to be getting in wood, pipe, general commodities like that, as well as the other transload over here. So maybe more sheet metal and stuff, like more oddball things over here. First over there, but moving on, this is the new transload warehouse that the railroad and the state built. So this is a state-owned line, and this is gonna be a recycled paper customer right now, and I believe it's gonna be pipe or metal, sheets of metal. I don't know exactly what. They also are going to be getting center beams of lumber or foam in. So 3 different types of rail cars coming into this building. And it's going to be interesting to see how I can kind of get this together. My plan is to have the rail entrance here, with this being the dock, put some forklifts, maybe some overhead cranes inside, and then this will all be open, so you can actually see the operation on the inside. Moving on the back, you can see kind of where the lumber has been going. I'm gonna put some other types of general supply stuff in, and I plan on putting an old feed mill right here. So that'll be kind of neat and make it look like this was all part of the mill at one point. And when they put the propane company in pretty recently, they knocked some of the buildings down. So we're gonna have the one feed mill kind of sit in this position here, and then we'll have the propane over here. So the propane was going along quite well. I got the risers in for the unloading, the crossings are in, and the tank platforms were there. They warped, so I'm trying to get some thicker styrene to really make them look pretty good. The ones on the inside did warp too, so I'm debating maybe going back on that. I got these cement blocks to protect the tanks once I put them in. Here will be an old station, and this is going to be a gravel parking lot for trailers. So I'll have a bunch of trailers parked here for the transloading. And I'm probably going to have a trailer, maybe 1 or 2 dock doors here. Is the kind of the plan. So, oh, I forgot to, they're also getting refrigerated boxcars in for another customer on the line as well. So, a good variety, something to keep me entertained. As you can see, I've been kind of busy just weathering cars for the most part because I just don't really have too much other things to do. So, until I get the kits start coming in, then I'm going to start jumping on that. Over here is going to be, car out of the way, as this is going to be 2 houses, and I'm going to have a tree line and some woods behind here to kind of hide the propane company, so maybe like a little separation. And then here is an interesting way I do it about this. This is going to be a little swamp, and these are going to be the properties of the houses. So the houses are going to kind of cover up the seam, and here is going to be the swamp. So the dividing sections of the railroad are here. You can see the joints, the joiners. So all I have to do is just slide this little piece out here. Much easier said than done. Just slide this little piece out. This is like the little culvert, like a little bridge that's built in between here. Slide your joiners back and these 2 sections come right out. If I want to wire it up in the future, I can, but for right now, I'm just using the joiners. I don't think it's going to be such a big deal. Everything else is solder connections. And for such a small layout like this I really shouldn't have any issues. The unit that I'm getting done, the B23-7, is going to have a power pack. The other unit that I'm going to plan on using this is Claremont Concrete S4, but pretty reliable. Didn't really have any issues with it. So, and I just slide it back in. So my plan is to paint this mud color from AK Interactive, so it looks like a swamp. And moving out, you can see we got some more stuff going here. So I got the road. I'm gonna have 2 old crossing lights here that don't work as well. It might make them work, might not, I don't know yet. I also have 2 other houses. I'm working on that house in the background right now. And then we put the sidewalk in. So it's an old crappy sidewalk. I plan on having some like roots growing out of it and stuff like that. Moving over here, this will be maintenance away area, and I plan on having like a tall patch of grass here, kind of be where the railroad takes care of stuff, and then where the railroad does not, obviously. Moving out, we're gonna have a cow pasture here, so you can see where that little area is. So it'll be cows, tree line is gonna be along here, and then this area is gonna be more trees, and then I'll go into 2 wooded areas to hide the interchange track. And then over here, you can see I experiment with some scenery. I'll explain that in a second. Over here is gonna be the same thing. So basically this branch used to go down to like a paper mill. Paper mill disbanded, branch got done. And over here used to be another customer they would go the other way for. You know, you can make whatever customer it is. Tracks got cut here, and probably 2 more miles of tracks got ripped up down that way. So this is like kind of our makeshift yard storage area. These cars will be loaded going to the team track for the railroad, and this is gonna be our shop track. So no more than 1 locomotive, maybe 2. I plan on having a flat car for maintenance away out here, so if I ever get bored just running something back and forth, I can do that too. And yeah, and then in here I'm just gonna have maintenance away piles of stuff, like they're essentially getting ready to rejuvenate the line. But I plan on doing a lot of work to make the scenery look really good. So like here, for instance, will be fresh ballast up to this point. This will be just dirt and track, and what basically you see here. So I'm just experimenting with how to kind of make the scenery come alive. This is all just gonna be dirt and crappy ballast going all the way down to here until we get to this switch, which will be a brand new light switch, brand new line here. Same thing over there going into the propane company. Everything else will be just dirt, weeds, and disgusting. So truly looking forward to actually getting to the scenery aspect, but I'm taking my time. I'm trying to buy 1 building at a time. If I buy 1 building a month at like $20, $30 a building, I think we'll get there probably quicker than I would like, and then I'd even like to. And we can really start focusing in on the scenery and really getting the more realism to it. So guys, hopefully I can get more videos up. I'm trying my best to kind of just pick at something every day, and we'll get there slowly. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for supporting, and if you have any comments, leave them down below. See you later.